800 African migrant workers have been deported from the UAE since June. We hear from one of them who says he was legally in the country before his detention and deportation.
I was detained for 38 days in the prison inside the cell, and in my cell we were 62 people in one big hall.
An Ivorian TV host who invited a rape convict to on set to demonstrate how to perform a sexual assault has been sentenced. Also on the program, Mimi shall be here with all the sports. As more African World Cup qualifying action today with AFCON champions Algeria hoping to extend their 27-match unbeaten run. Thanks for joining us here on Focus on Africa from BBC World News. The United Arab Emirates has been accused of the forceful deportation of African migrant workers, many of whom are legally permitted to reside and work in the UAE. That's according to a report released today by Euro-Mediterranean Human Rights Monitor and Impact International for Human Rights Policies. On the 24th of June 2021, the UAE government forces began the arbitrary detention and subsequent deportation of at least 800 African migrant workers within Abu Dhabi, mainly to Nigeria, Cameroon and Uganda. Detained individuals say they were subjected to physical and mental torture, refused access to medical treatment and subjected to sexual and racial abuse. Some even say Emirati officials falsified fake COVID test results for them so they could put them on flights. Well, the UAE has the 6th largest migrant flow in the world, with foreign nationals constituting 95% of the workforce. Well, we've spoken to one of the victims, Kennedy Rubakakene, who is a Ugandan national and is currently in Kampala, who says he was arrested from his rental residence at midnight while only dressed in shorts. Let's take a listen.
Took us straight to prison, not even a police station. So by the time we realized it was already 5 a.m. in the morning, I found myself already in prison and work back prison. So I was surprised because I don't know why I'm there, because I'm working legally, I have the legal documents, my contract has just been renewed. And there, even the people were even asking themselves, why are we here? No, there was no offense that I was charged with. Actually, they did not even take me to court. Nothing, there was no offense. I was detained for 38 days in the prison inside the cell, and in my cell we were 62 people in one big hall, 62 people from different nationalities.
Well, let's get more now from Michaela Pugliese. She's a migration researcher at Euromed Monitor, one of the co-authors of this report. She joins me from Tropea in Italy. Michaela, can you just describe your report's findings to us, and how are these people being forcibly expelled and why?
Hi, good evening. Yeah, well, we found out that the reason behind this massive campaign of arrest and deportation is not the lack of papers nor of working permits nor visas, as the majority of these people and the people we got to interview had these valid work permits and visas, still valid even for years. So we think that the multiple human rights violations that occurred against them and were perpetrated by the UAE authorities, which are many and severe violations, occurred just for a racial reason. They were racially motivated, they were targeted and precise in their targets.
And have you been able to get in touch with the Emirati officials? Because we've sent them multiple emails. They have not responded to us. We made a phone call to the embassy here in the UK today. They kept us waiting for over an hour before they hung up. No response from them. But have you heard from them?
Actually, we made the same efforts. We tried to contact them, especially by the end of August, after collecting more than 100 testimonies and after verifying all the information. We contacted the Ministry of Interior to ask for an explanation of these alarming allegations. But up to now, we haven't received an answer yet from them.
And what about these countries where these migrant workers are being deported back to? So Nigeria, Cameroon, and Uganda, for instance. Have you got any response at all from the governments?
Actually, no. Like, we know that the migrants we talked with tried to contact their own embassies, but they haven't received an answer from them. They wanted to be protected and to seek a solution, also to get their properties and valuables and money back.
And to these guys who have been deported, these people who have been deported, do they have any kind of recourse to justice? Can they take their case somewhere and get some kind of redress?
Well, at the moment, they do not. That is why we wanted to publish this report, so that the international organizations can be aware about this alarming situation and widespread violation of these African migrant workers' rights, and they can get a legal remedy for their situation. Up to now, they are back in their own countries without any money left after all the work they have done in the UAE, and they are feeling hopeless, and they had their family members dependent on them also economically. So now they find themselves in a really dangerous limbo.
Okay, Michaela Pugliese from the Migration Euromed Monitor, rather. Thank you very much for your insight into this story. Thank you. And as I said there, we have tried to reach out to the UAE government directly for a response, but the multiple emails we sent have remained unanswered, and the embassy in London kept us on hold for over an hour today without any response.